everyone, and welcome to MUXX TV tonight with sofa recordings. And you might think, where is she sitting? She's not sitting on the sofa where she normally is with all these wonderful artists. No, I get to sit upstairs because we have a wonderful piano upstairs. But even more, we have a wonderful artist today here on the show. Judith Owen is here. We're so happy to have you here. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for coming.
Emily, it's a pleasure.
And of course, because we have such a wonderful piano, we want you to play on a wonderful piano up here. That's why we got to move upstairs and we get to sit up here today.
I know, this is why we get to look so extraordinarily uncomfortable together. So every time I turn around, look at you like that and then turn back down to the piano. But it's a beautiful thing.
It is, absolutely. And I'm sure even though we're not sitting on a sofa, we're going to talk about some very interesting things. For example, about your new album, Rediscovered, which is a wonderful album with cover versions of songs that you like to listen to. And I love this, what you said about it. They're not just karaoke, because that's the lazy way of doing it. They're your versions.
Well, I've never wanted to do copies of people's songs because the original versions are the best. I've made a joke about this, but I'm having T-shirts made. I literally am.
Really?
To sell at shows with I don't do karaoke on it. Because what I like to do, what I want to do is to make these songs personal to me, autobiographical, so they sound like you've never heard them before. They have a different point of view, they have a different story, and I rearrange them musically so that they really are an absolute rediscovery for you, the listener, and for me, the performer.
Absolutely. When I was listening to the album, some of the songs I just thought, oh my goodness, I've never even heard it that way. For example, Summer Dreams that you do on the album.
Oh, Summer Nights,
Summer Nights, from Greece.
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to that when I was a child all the time. And then there's that stupid lyric in it, I swam by and had a cramp. And the way you sing it, it's just like, oh my goodness, but that means so much more, actually. Then
I'm so thrilled that I'm doing that song tonight for you, because then that means I chose well. It is one of those songs where when I play it live, particularly, you can see the audience. They start smiling when they're like, no. And then the smiles go, and then they become involved and they become quite emotional. And some women have actually teared up because it's in my hands, or in my experience, this song is about the time when someone I loved very much came home and said, I had an affair, I had a fling, it didn't mean anything, please forgive me. And of course, I said, yes, I forgive you. But in fact, the truth was I could try and forgive, but I could not forget. And the image of them together ate away at me and our chances of any life together. And that's really what this song becomes. It's gone from being that 50s doo-wop, great song from Greece, to being a true jazz torch song.
And it's very melancholic, and that's why it's amazing what you did to it. And amazing what you do, all of your stuff you do. It's your 12th album, or this is the 12th album. Amazing.
Thank you.
We're going to start with the Song of an Immigrant, and I'd like to start at the beginning with you as well, because that's why you chose to play the song first. You're a singer born in London, but you're from Wales. Your parents...
And I actually think when you say about the melancholic side of being able to take a song like that and make it so melancholy, I put this down completely to being Welsh. It's like when I was in Scandinavia, I didn't have to explain myself to them at all, because they're like, yes, depression, we understand this, the darkness, melancholia, we understand. And it's like, and everything looks like The Killing, and it's all fantastic. And I basically, I had Welsh parents and Welsh family, and they're all still in Wales, and I was brought up to feel very much that Welsh connection. And it is a melancholic place, but it makes for great music and great art. And then when I left London to go to America, I was hit by that same feeling that my parents had been hit by when they left Wales, which is that feeling of being far away from the place you love and the things that you know.
So feeling bad is for you a good thing sometimes. Well, it is. I mean, when I listen to music, I like to feel the bad part about it.
Do you know what? I grew up around classical music. My father was an opera singer at Covent Garden. And so for me, crying and feeling great feelings and feeling sadness, listening to these depressing Welsh folk songs, felt great. It never felt like a bad thing or a depressing thing. It felt like I was liberated emotionally, because isn't music the thing that gives us permission to feel big feelings, joy, sorrow, heartbreak? It lets us, you know.
You said I grew up in a house where music was our vocabulary.
Yes.
What did that mean for you? Because you said your sister played the cello really well, and she practiced all the time, and you are dyslexic, so you couldn't. You had to do it just by sitting at it, and you kind of you are self-taught.
Yes.
So what does the music being, or vocabulary of music being that was in your house, how does that make you the person you are now as a musician?
It made me everything I am, because again, it was very classical. My sister was a really great musician. My father obviously was this world-class musician, but I have musical dyslexia. I mean, it sounds ridiculous. I've the regular dyslexia too, by the way. I'm not trying to make out I'm something special, but it means that I can't see notes. They make no sense to me, and they're all rushing all over the place. It doesn't. So it's very hard to make any connections. So it would take me a week to play one line, and so they just left me alone to my own devices. And what happened there was that leaving me alone meant that I could do whatever I wanted. And what I wanted was to write music at the piano. And no one bothered me, and I didn't have to pass exams, and I have perfect pitch and a really fine ear. So I could, when I heard my sister playing Debussy or Chopin, not Chopin, it's way too difficult, but it's something like Debussy, I could copy my own little version of it, wrong chords, wrong notes all the time. But it sounded and felt so good to me. And that was the beginning of it all. And then, strangely, in this classical household, my dad was obsessed, and my mum, with Black American music, jazz, big band, R&B, gospel, Motown, Stax, you name it, we were listening to it. So what an extreme household to grow up in. And of course, being a sponge, like all children are, I took all of this. So what you really hear in my music to this day is classical, jazz, all that music, and that melancholy Welsh folk place. It's all still there.
And you can hear it, and I can tell we're going to be able to talk for hours, but I do want to hear what you play, and so the people at home. So please tell me a little bit more about Song of an Immigrant. I mean, we just talked about why you chose it, but for this day and age, why did you choose it for now?
Oh boy, there's a lot of these songs that make me feel the things that I know you and I are going to talk about, but here's the thing about America, and I went to America to be with my husband, and I love the fact that I live in New Orleans and London. It's fantastic, and a little bit sometimes in California, as we were talking about earlier. But the thing is, we're all immigrants there. Everybody in America is an immigrant. That's the land of immigrants. What's going on now is unspeakable, but what's going on in the whole world is terrifying and unspeakable, and it's a shift. And I travel all over the world and touring and promoting and performing, and I'm seeing a world shift here. We're in a crisis. We're in a crisis, and the thing about being an immigrant and feeling that strongly, which is why I wrote this song, was that it connected me to all those classic folk songs like Shenandoah, all those ancient folk songs that we all know and love, that are about being far away from home, far away from the things that we love, from the people we love, from the places that make us feel safe, from everything that we have grown up knowing to be true. Nobody wants to leave their home. Nobody wants to risk their lives to go into a country where they will be basically hated and disrespected, and they will be struggling. But maybe, you only have to know how desperate people are to get into a country for them to go to these extremes to get there. I mean, this is not I think I'll just... Everybody that's gone to America has done it because there's been an extreme reason for it. We all know that.
And writing songs like this is going to help people realize that is actually how it is.
I hope they realize. I hope people listen to this and somewhere in their heart they will be reminded that we've all been in this place, and to have a bit more humanity, please, and compassion.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing it. Song of an Immigrant.
I am far away from my country. I am far away from my home, from the steel gray hills of my fathers that still haunt me whenever I'm alone. I can see the face of my mother, of the friends and lovers I have known, and I yearn for these simple pleasures, these things called your golden gate cannot soothe me, and your skies of blue make me cry. For the rains that fall straight from heaven, for the childhood that must have passed me by. So may I rest my head on your shoulder. May I lay my hand on your own, 'cause I am oh so tired. I am older, and I yearn for all the things I've known. These things called home.
Thank you so much. It's such a wonderful song, and it's such a wonderful way to start this evening, even though it is melancholy.
I know, I know.
How is it for you singing these songs that are so so deep and yeah, not happy? Is it sometimes hard for you to sing them, and do you sometimes have to catch your tears, or can you kind of fade that out while you're singing?
Well, there are some songs that, you know, that we'll get to in a bit that are very hard for me to sing because they're more, you know, they're more recent and more pertinent in my life right now. I think the thing about a song like that is that it's so filled with yearning, and it's filled with loss, and that's what people feel when they leave their home, and they leave the place they're from. There is great loss. It's a huge. Yeah, I remember talking to my husband's mother about this, and you know, it's just that sense of everything that you've left behind. Everybody knows it, and I remember I had the very same conversation with Richard Thompson, in fact, because we were doing this show together called 1,000 Years of Popular Music, and he sang Shenandoah in it, and we both said, you know, why are we so attracted to this sad music? And it is yearning. It's the yearning that we feel when we're thousands of miles away from home, and that's really, really it. But it doesn't make me. Sometimes I tear up, but sometimes when it's too close to me. But in a song like this, I am touched still by the meaning, because it's really weird as a writer, and when I sing my own songs, there's a part of me that never actually doesn't really think I wrote them.
Really?
That's ridiculous. Yeah, it does. When I hear my own songs, which I rarely do because I don't listen to myself. And I'm always, because you're always, as an artist, you're always thinking, oh, girl, I'll hear something and I'll hate, you know. Actually, until this record, I hear it, I've heard it a lot now promoting, and I'm always I'm overjoyed with the way it sounds and how it is, and I'm thrilled with it. But it's the self-critical side of you, and that you think you're just going to tear yourself apart listening to, you know, what cannot be changed or fixed. But the truth is, often when I do hear myself recorded, the first thing is I can't believe it's me, and I don't quite think it's me. And the second is I'm extraordinarily pleased that I'm as happy with it as I usually am. So
that's a good thing.
Which is a very, very good thing. But I think it keeps me. I think it's actually very healthy not to connect myself too much with it, because it keeps me. I think it is something to do with what happens when you write. I mean, we know what happens, you know how it happens, but again, all the conversations I've ever had with fellow musicians, none of us are ever quite sure how where the bloody hell it really does come from at the end of the day, and how it just blasts through you so quickly, and there it is. It's an incredible thing that we're all so grateful for, but none of us can quite understand, I suppose.
I think the great musicians, it must come from way back, way deep down in the heart.
Yes.
Otherwise, it wouldn't sound the way it does.
That's absolutely. I believe that. I believe that it comes from absolutely the subconscious and your heart and whatever you're feeling at any given time. It's a miraculous thing where it can go through into the brain and suddenly be shooting out from your fingers and your voice in the most unconscious and natural way. It's really quite an extraordinary thing, I think.
We're going to talk more about Rediscover, the new album where you
Yes.
covered songs, and in the Summertime is one, of course. But I wanted to know if you've ever thought about which song you would want to have covered by whom of your songs. Have you thought about anyone who'd like you? There's one song you'd say, I really would want, I don't know, James Taylor to sing it or something like that.
I can't. I mean, I there's so many. I'm such a fan of other artists. I'm such a gushing fan of people, and it's just sort of like I don't even dare say the name Joni Mitchell, because obviously I would be struck down by lightning even if I said that and just thought it. But
I think you wouldn't be. Actually.
I don't know, really, maybe not. But what I do know is that I just heard somebody just sent me a link to a Facebook page of this incredible Scandinavian group with a female singer at the piano with this wonderful group, and there they are singing. I think it would be I Would Give Anything. The song they're singing from Ebb and Flow. I was floored. I almost fell off the chair because, again, it was so beautifully done, and I still couldn't believe that was my song. I mean, this is ridiculous, but I think it actually keeps me healthy. That I there's a certain disconnect between what I create and who I am, which is it's all right. It's not a bad thing. But this was, to me, the greatest honour is to hear other people singing my songs.
So you should look it up on YouTube. So well. I'm sure you can see it. That would be actually good.
I'll have to, I'll get the link on my website on judithowen.net, because it really, it was one of those things where it's like, they're doing what? It was like, what? And then because you tend, if you're like me, I try to make my songs, even though of course it's all about my life and my experience, all about me, darling, at the end of the day. But how it has to be. But ultimately, I want them to be universal and timeless. I want them to speak to everybody else. That's the reason I love performing live so much, is because I know that the people in the audience will absolutely know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll feel it back from them. And it's a conversation that we have. And so to hear this woman singing it and meaning it, oh my gosh, it was breathtaking. It really was.
Tell me why you chose In the Summertime.
Well, I think this is In the Summertime, following Song of an Immigrant. It could not be better, because it goes from the, it's basically what happened when I left London and my Welsh family and that life, how it felt to go to California. It was just extraordinary and shocking. And the first thing I think I said was, I can't stand the heat.
Really?
Yes! Because you have to understand, as I say in that song, in the Song of an Immigrant, you miss the things that you hated and would complain about your whole life, like rain and greyness and the thing that makes you depressed. And suddenly I was like yearning for it, and I wanted the sun to would it please stop shining for one bloody day. So it was this, I know you can't make me happy. You know what it's like. It's the woman thing, isn't it? You can't. I can never be happy. It's really hard to make happy. So I found myself in California. And it really is, you've been there, you've lived there, you know what this is like. It's kind of like, what? Because there's something so ridiculous about it. It really is gorgeous and beautiful, and the sun is out and it's stunning, and it doesn't have the culture that I get in London, that I get in Europe, that I need, which is why I have to live, in both, that I get in New Orleans. It doesn't have that. What it has is physical beauty like nobody ever told me. And so, cut to, when I was doing Ebb and Flow, I had met, the truth was, my father had just passed away. It always comes, so much comes from sad things to me. I mean, it just is the way it is. And I think it's about taking sadness and bringing bringing beauty from it, finding beauty in it, and turning it into something beautiful, because that really is ultimately what it's all about, these great feelings of love. And I decided that I wanted to record and make a record that was a love letter to the music of Laurel Canyon, because as a kid, one of my favorite, sweetest memories was being in the back of the car, singing along with my sister and my dad to James Taylor, who he was a huge fan of. Again, how unusual is this man? And of course, what I didn't realize at the time, and those confessional singer-songwriters of the Laurel Canyon movement, you know, James and Carol, and let's be honest, particularly Joni Mitchell, had such a profound effect upon me. Little did I know when I was a kid listening to this that the person I was listening to playing bass was Leland Sklar. Leland Sklar would become my bass player. And in the last, 6 years has basically been, we have been attached at the hip, and I have never enjoyed a more incredible relationship in my life musically. And what happened was I met Leland. He was doing he was recording something for my husband on one of his comedy records, and I met Leland, and I was guesting at one of the shows Harry, my fabulous husband, we will talk about later, I know, was doing, and Leland heard me play, and his reaction was just like, boing, musically. He was just like, you could see it was that thing of boing, and then we played together, and the two of us were like, boing. It was ridiculously insane, symbiotic thing that happens. And he said, so he got in touch with, then I said, would you make a record with me? He was like, will I? Then he got in touch with Ross Kunkel and Waddy Wachtel, all of whom have, of course, been here and done stuff before. And that was the start of Ebb and Flow, and the covers that I chose to do for that, because, I've been doing covers since I was a struggling musician doing 4-hour gigs in like crappy little wine bars and rubbish jazz clubs and in restaurants and hotels. I didn't care where. That's how I earned my money, and that's my apprenticeship. And I couldn't read anything, and they needed me to do covers and hits. So I rearranged all of these songs, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs, so they sounded like me, and I'd slip my own in between. And that was the way that I could cope with being asked, do you know anything from Cats? Thank you, Emily.
Oh, no.
Thank you. Thank you. I rest my case, my lad. So anyway, I found myself, I cut back forward too. So I wanted this beautiful love letter to Laurel Canyon to have the feeling, as it was in the studio, how it felt to be in the round with these guys recording live, in that sound that I grew up listening to and loved so much. And boy, it was still there. I thought, oh, this might not work. The minute they started playing, there it was. And I actually thought, why summer, the joys of summer songs. I'd been doing a summer show in London and of covers, and I thought, in the summertime, done Laurel Canyon style, done in that warm bath, seductive, that vibe, the Joni, Carole King, that vibe, that was it. And it's not about any more young boys, wanting to basically just, get drunk and have sex. Now this song, to me, is about a woman, me, looking at the beach in Santa Monica, watching the boys of summer, watching them, remembering my own youth, my life, those exciting times, and just being that, that observer, that voyeur and observer of life. And that's really how it came about.
And we're going to observe you playing now in the summertime.
We'll probably get like 3 songs in by the
time. I know.
It'll be a 3-hour show, you know that. It just has to be. It has to be.
Yeah. No. Yeah. In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up, you can almost touch the sky. When the weather is right, you've got woman on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, and go out and see what you can find. If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, then just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, darling, do a turn on 25. When the sun goes down, you can make it in a lay-by. Cause you're not bad, you're not dirty, darling, you're not a me. You just love everybody and you do exactly what you feel. You go fishing, you go flying, sometimes you go swimming in the sea. You see the life's for living, life's for living, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's your philosophy. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. When the winter's here, darling, you feel just fine. Bring a bottle where your brackles, cause soon it will be summertime. Cause you're not bad, you're not dirty, darling, you're not me. You just love everybody. You do exactly what you feel. You go fishing, you go flying, sometimes you go swimming in the sea. You see the life's for living, life's for living, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's your philosophy. In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up, almost touch the sky when the weather is right. You've got woman on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, and go out and see what you can find. Have a drink, have a drive, and go out and see what you can find. Have a drink, have a drive, and go out and see what you can find. La 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 la, come along with me. La 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 la, come along with me. Oh la la la, come along with me. La la la, come along with me. Woo, woo.
So lovely, thank you so much. It's going to be kind of hard to get to the next song because it's a very sad reason that you're singing it.
Yeah.
Your producer David Bianco passed away last couple of days, and he was very important to you.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was a surprise. It wasn't something that anyone expected.
The man that I recorded these last 3 records with, and who is responsible for them sounding as absolutely exquisite and joyful and amazing as they do, is passed away 3 days ago. And total shock, absolute crushing blow to all of us who work with him, you know, myself, Lucinda Williams, so many great artists that he's worked with over the years. Sadly, Tom Petty also just passed away, and Bob Dylan and Stones, everybody. I mean, he's an incredible guy, but I am so sad at the loss of such a remarkable person. I mean, it's not often you can say that about people. You know, it's a rare thing to find somebody who's not only incredibly talented behind the desk, but makes you feel so at home and makes you look so forward to going in and working. every day. It has been nothing short of an utter joy making these records with him.
Yeah, what else was it from his character that you loved about him? And not just being a good, talented as what he does, but what was it that he did in the studio?
He was the funniest man. I literally, one of the things that I need a lot, because I am a melancholy person, but the flip side of melancholia, of course, as we all know, is usually quite a strong desire to laugh a lot and to have a good sense of humour and a strong sense of humour to get through. And, oh God, Dave could just make me laugh constantly. His stories, they were just like, and other people that I know that I've met that speaking about him and have said the same thing. It's just like his wit, his charm. He was very much an Anglophile, loved British comedy. So there was just so much joy in that room. And I have always believed that it's not enough to have great musicians around you, to have, to make the music work. You have to have an entire team of people that make you feel happy. Because if you're not doing this and finding a reason to smile and laugh every single day and to act like kids and be childish and irresponsible, because that's basically what musicians are, as you well know, then something's really wrong. Something's wrong, and it shouldn't be a struggle. And this part of it, the creativity, the creation side of it, the recording side of it, the performance side, this is the joy. And so people need to be more than just good at their jobs. They need to be people you want to spend your life with, because everyone is part of a family. To me, that's really it. I think it's just about building a family.
I would probably say in your position, you're quite lucky that you can do that for yourself. That you can have you're so talented, and you have so many people who want to work with you, that you can kind of put your team together. I'm sure other people who have jobs that they don't get to have the people around them that they want to have around them.
I think I'm the luckiest person in the world, because in most of life you don't get to choose the people. Good grief, you don't even get to choose your family. Let's be honest. You don't. It's sort of, life is very, very short, as we know. So it's sort of the idea, as most of us, and I've gone through myself in a lot of my life, being with people, working with people that actually made me feel terrible, made me feel bad. So it's sort of like, no. And especially in the studio, the people you share the stage with and the people you share the studio with, very, very important, because they're the people that they are the people that can either, and I say allow, you know what I mean, they can either help you be the best musician you can be, or they can make you really go inside yourself and start to disappear and to act out and to not feel comfortable and to bring your insecurities out. And when it, for anybody who is creating anything, that's really, really important.
That's the worst thing that can happen, if people that make you feel bad. Yeah.
Anyone that doesn't make you feel secure, in my case, doesn't. And the other thing about Dave is that I always, used to say to my manager Steve Lee, he's got my voice dialed in. It was ridiculous. I would literally come up to the piano like this. He'd have it ready, everything would be ready, because he knew the minute I sat at the piano, I'd probably end up recording something immediately. Even if I was just messing about, it might be the start of a new song. So he had it going, and it was just running always. I mean, we've got another 2 records that are half done, ready. This is amazing how much work we got done together. But it was one of those things where you just sat down, it felt like home, off I'd go, and it was there. He had it dialed in. The sound of these records it really is a testament, and everybody I think that's ever worked with him would say the same thing. It was a testament to truly his extraordinary gift. But to be that loved and liked, which are 2 very different things, as we know, is very, very rare and precious. And I wrote this song for my father, but I really think now, if ever there was a time to sing this song, I think it is now.
And you also wrote I Would Give Anything for your father as well, right?
Yeah.
And you wrote a song
actually, I Would Give Anything was kind of for my mother, and it was my mother and my father, but it's both of them. You're Not Here Anymore, I wrote for my mother. I Would Give Anything was for him, yes, but it was. It's one of those things. I think that if you, and I feel the same for Dave now. I really do. It's sort of, when you know that you should say everything because you know the end is coming, and you should say everything to someone you love because you must, and you still can't because the saying means it's ending. And I think we're all, you know, I still felt that about my father. I feel about Dave that I wish, you know, we spent more time together. We'd had a few more meals together, that I'd said more things to him. But, you know, the truth is, that's why I wrote this song, is because it is and he, if you hear, when you hear the recorded version of this, when you hear the recording of it, you will see how remarkable a job David did on this. And it was a very difficult time for him as well. And this song made us both cry in the studio, because he lost his own wife a couple of years prior, in 2012. So when we did this for somebody's child, I just lost my father, he lost his wife. It was really, there was a real meeting of hearts between the two of us, I felt. And that you could hear that in how he treated my songs.
So this one is for David.
Yes. The fabulous Dave Bianco.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
We walk this road together through good and troubled times. I held your hand when you were down. For a lifetime you held mine. I did not see this coming. Well, I guess you never do. I have no regrets, my friend. I've just one thing to say to you. Long may you walk in fields of green, and may the angels guard your side. Thank you for love. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. Sadness and yet no more regrets, no more goodbyes. No, no, no. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you for love. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. Sadness and yet no more regrets, no more goodbyes. Sadness and yet no more regrets, no more goodbye.
is one of those songs that make you want to cry, but you feel good when you listen to it at the same time because it's so sad but no regrets. It's such a wonderful, beautiful song, and I'm sure.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, because that's the point of it. It is so sad, but it's not meant to make you like lose it or fall apart. It's a thing of beauty. I think that is really what music is about. It's like taking the crap of life and turning it into beauty, into something that we can all share and go, yeah.
And it makes you start thinking again, and you listen to the lyrics, and it's really, music does so many things. I think it's
the greatest.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
What you do is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Somebody's Child is you write. These are songs you wrote where you were processing things that were you were dealing with. With Somebody's Child, I read anyway that you wrote it after you saw a homeless woman on the street wrapped up in or dressed in garbage bags,
yes.
Pregnant, just about to give birth actually.
Yeah.
And you just felt, what did you feel when you saw her?
Terror. I mean, it was the streets of Manhattan, Christmas time, snow on the ground, and there is this gorgeous girl, African-American girl, she must have been 18 at the most, wearing trash bags, I mean black bags, skirt, top, dancing to music in her own head because she was high on drugs, and she was enormously pregnant, with a belly, her stomach was sticking out in between these bags. And because I am one of those ridiculous people, and that's why I caught myself, thank God, I saw her, felt fear. My first feeling was fear, because I know madness when I see it. I've had enough of it in my own life, and I know what that is. And so it's, of course, the fear of seeing this, and then just like trying to run away from it. And it was only when I was halfway across the road that I thought, what is the matter with you? This is a human being, but this is somebody's child. Those were the words that I thought was absolute words, which is why I then wrote the song, because she started exactly the same way as me, no doubt. She started, as somebody's precious baby. Now, the reason we all fall off the edge, the reason that we all, or in America, this is a particular problem. I'm not sure how it is in Germany. I only know that in America it is an epidemic. And where, right now it's at a point where people are being given tents because there is no alternative. There are on the streets of LA thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of human beings, many of which are children, living on the streets. And we've become very used to just seeing them on the street and just kind of going, oh no, they're begging, but they probably earn more than I do. Those are the kind of lines people come up with. Yeah, they probably do this as a career. No, I'm sorry. This is not how it is. And I wrote Somebody's Child because I needed that kick up the arse, basically, to remind myself to be a human being and to remember that this person started out like me, and if things had gone wrong in my life, and if I'd had a different family and I'd have a different set of situations, and as I know what it's like to come close to the edge, I could be that girl on the street. And it is a wake-up call for all of us very smug liberal people who just think,
Still, and this is not, I don't mean this disrespectful at all. I mean this actually is a question.
Yeah.
How does one deal with the responsibility of that and not break up inside? Because if you walk around the streets of LA and you see these people every day, how do you deal with the feeling that you are writing about in Somebody's Child without breaking yourself? Well,
in the first place, you need to actually try and do something about it in a world where there aren't facilities anymore for the homeless or for the mentally ill who are living on the streets, which is the majority. I know people who have jobs. There's a person living outside my house, living in his car, who was going every day to do a job in a restaurant. He was an employed human being, but was broke. I know I've had friends who've been bankrupted by illness because of how bad the health system, as far as insurance and everything. This is very easy to fall off the edge. You don't have to be, as you would imagine, destitute. In a way that any other country might think of this. So what you need to do is to basically be really rallying as a society needs to rally and to actually change the situation for the homeless. Now, this really does mean building homes, building places for people to live. The situation with mental illness, it wasn't great what was there before. The institutions were terrifying. We know that this is not like it was a great thing, but society has to take care of people who cannot take care of themselves. This is what is described. We describe this as being a civilized society, and easier said than done, I know. But my friends and I raise money every year with my husband, doing various shows to support various charities particularly for runaways and homeless children on the streets, to basically get them back into life and give them chances and education and house them and get them into families. But I think, Lee, talking of Lee Sklar, he and his wife have started doing an amazing thing where they actually have packages that they put together which have things in them that homeless people will need. Like a few bucks, things that get them into, like towel, toothbrush, soap, Band-Aids, antiseptic. I'm not joking. Like some tokens to go to restaurants to get food. I mean, all that kind of stuff. But like there's a blanket rolled in there with it. I mean, this is a way of thinking through to this thing. I go everywhere with my pockets stuffed with dollar bills because I won't have all that rubbish about, they'll just spend it on booze. Well, fine, then let them. Because I'm sorry, what would you think there's something better that they might be doing at this point? They're self-medicating. I mean, and there's things that human beings can do, like if you don't finish your meal, get it in a box and take it outside and give it to somebody who's homeless. If there are. I know. I'm not saying this is the. There is no like quick, easy answer like that. There isn't. But you certainly can start changing the laws, start changing the way that people think about homeless people, and start reminding the very, very fortunate ones amongst us in this world that nobody wants to live on the streets.
And everybody is somebody's child.
Everybody is somebody's child.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's a girl on the street in a trash bag dress. There's a baby in her belly and milk in her breast. And I'm crossing the street 'cause she's acting so wild. But she used to be me and she's somebody's child. Spare a little salt for the down and out, 'cause it's true. The tables were turned, the deal was different, it might be you. Well, look at that man, he lives in his car, 'cause the run of bad luck went and pushed him too far. Or the woman who lives in a box out the back, when she started out, did her dreams include that? So spare a little salt for the down and out, 'cause it's true. If the tables were turned, the deal was different, it might be you. So leave them on the streets if their families don't care. We've got crow's feet to fill, we've got no cash to spare. The food lines are endless, the shelters are full, and such are the things they don't teach you in school. So give a little thought to the down and out, 'cause it's true. Ooh. The tables were turned, deal was different, it might be you. There's a girl on the street in a trash bag dress. There's a baby in her belly and milk in her breast. And I'm crossing the street 'cause she's acting so wild. But she used to be me, and she's somebody's child. You know, she used to be me. You know, she used to be me. She used to be me. She used to be me, and she's somebody child.
Thank you so much. Send me a line. Who did you write that about?
Oh, me. It's all about, it's all about me. It literally, I am just sick about my phone. I mean, we all are. I'm just so sick. And I want my life back. I want my life back. I spend so much time on social media. I spend so much time, as we all do. You know, it's like seeing the person who's filming the concert. They're not watching the concert. They're filming it. And then they've not actually had the experience. So I realized, because I'm like, I overthink and I have a vivid imagination, obviously, and I read everything into everything, you know, it doesn't matter how small it is. So God forbid you haven't called me back or texted me or replied in 20 seconds. I think you hate me and that the world is, you know, it's all over, and it's just, so I read drama into everything. And of course, that's why I made the video for Send Me a Line, which is me just crashing through my own home, just making a mess of everything with my pets, my rather intelligent pets, my dog and my cat, looking on as if like to say, oh, God.
And her dog is called Doris Day.
She is Doris Day.
A cat is Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald.
And what about Duke Ellington?
Duke Ellington is the newest addition. He really has won my heart. He's 21 pounds of love.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he's not actual Duke Ellington size, it's true, but he's near, and he's giant, and he's just a love guy. He's a love bug, and so yeah, of course, I had to name all my animals after brilliant musicians and singers, you know. So
yeah, I'm quite jealous. You have all those lovely people at home, or lovely,
I have them all ready. I have them all
wonderful.
waiting for me. I should point out that I have to FaceTime my dog every day.
Speaking about send me a line.
Send me a line. If I don't FaceTime, and that's where it becomes really useful. If I don't, I mean, I have to FaceTime my husband, obviously, but my husband, at least I can, you know, he can get on a plane and come and visit me. Like I'll see him in a couple of days in London. My dog, you know, doesn't travel. She's huge. And she's a big girl. And so I'm FaceTiming my dog. It's the only way I can come on the road.
I'm not going to tell your husband, Harry Shearer, that you mentioned the dog first and then mentioned
he knows.
him. Oh, good. Okay.
No, don't worry about that. He'll just be like rolling his eyes. I can see him rolling his eyes as we speak. I can hear it already. I mean, it's the thing. You know, if you don't have children, because my life is this, then what you do is you have pets, you have dogs, and particularly dogs for me. I'm a dog person, really am. I love my cats, but I'm a dog person. So they become your surrogate children. It's so sad. They're furry babies. Yeah. You
married Harry in '93, and Harry, like I know,
yeah.
but you married your husband in '93,
yeah.
and back then the courtship obviously was different because there was no texting and that kind of stuff back then.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if you want to tell me, because you said not too personal, but
yeah.
Did you fall in love with your husband because he was so funny, or because he has such a dark side, and that makes him be able to be funny?
No, I fell in love with my husband because I was playing one of those. It all comes round in a big circle, you see, Emily. This is what's so fantastic. I was playing one of those 4-hour marathons, and I was very young and very broke and very depressed, and I'd slipped in one of my own songs to the 4-hour horror, and it was the actual time when an American couple had come up to me and asked me if I knew anything from Cats. That was the actual date and day. And as I slipped a song in, sorry, any Cats lovers out there, I'm sorry, but no. So anyway, I slipped it in, and after I finished playing, I heard this rapturous applause behind me, and I turned round, and there was my husband, who is Derek Smalls from This Is Spinal Tap, the greatest cult film ever written in this world about the music business, and he's standing there with the full facial hair and the long hair and the moustache and everything, and he's with Christopher Guest, who's obviously the second of the three guys, and Michael wasn't there, so it was Chris and Harry, and then a little person who was one of the Stonehenge elves, and I just thought, this is the funniest moment of my life. This is the most surreal thing that will ever happen to me, and because of course, and because Derek Small, that look. If you don't know this film, you have to go. You know, viewers have to go and see it immediately. It is the cult. It is incredible, and it is fantastic. In fact, Harry has just actually done a new Derek Small solo album.
Oh, really?
With every rock guitar god on it, plus the Budapest State Orchestra. Oh yeah, I mean it's off the chart. So I will come back to that later because I want to go on about it. It's so amazing. But the truth is, it was how funny he was, and it was because it appealed to my sense of humor first and foremost. He fell in love with my singing voice. I fell in love with the pure, insane, surreal comedy of it all, and everything since then has it always comes back to Spinal Tap, which makes me very, very happy, and that was. I can't imagine really being with anybody else because the two things that he and I count as being most precious in life is music and laughter. So that really, really is it.
That is absolutely, I wish that for everyone, actually.
For
Music
everyone,
and laughter would be the best thing
Yeah.
ever. So this is for Harry. Send me a line. Maybe he should call you later on, or at least come and visit you soon.
Oh, he's in a couple of days,
Yeah.
believe me. But, you know, it's just for all of we sad people who literally cannot turn our phones off.
Yeah, I've got to go check my emails.
Would you?
Okay, so I'll be right back.
You do that. Yeah, this will be about enough time for you to check out your texts and stuff. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I've got my own broke way of thinking. I knew I'd blown it from the start. And why'd I go and write the things I had to say? Second guess myself when it was too late, well. And now my heart is out there sinking. Oh, buddy, won't you send me a line? Send me a line. Oh, buddy, won't you send me a line? I'm dying here. I'm stuck here waiting for your answer. Don't wanna close this, screen it out all. 'Cause I could go out shopping, get my girls a call. I could go wherever I want, but can't seem to make it out the front door. Oh, buddy, won't you send me a line? Send me a line. Oh, buddy, won't you send me a line? I'm dying here. Buddy, won't you spare me some time? Spare me some time. Oh, buddy, won't you send me a line? I'm dying here. I'm dying here. I'm dying here. Oh, 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 oh. I said, buddy, won't you send me a line? I said, buddy, won't you send me a line? I I said, buddy, won't you send me a line? I'm dying here. I'm dying here. I'm dying here. Oh, oh.
Such a cool song.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Any good messages?
Yeah, really important
Really
stuff.
important.
Really important stuff, yeah. Mostly it isn't. That's so disappointing too, when you turn your phone on after 2 hours and think, and then it's like,
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay,
And you haven't
well.
even made any extra friends.
No, and nobody's liked me more on
Sucks.
Facebook or Instagram, whatever.
Sucks.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like we've got to the point where everything is about how many more, likes have I got? It's just, we're screwed up.
We
We're
are
screwed up.
absolutely. It's crazy. When my 10-year-old son says to me, "What did you post and how many likes did you get?" It's like, what are you talking about? How
Yeah,
do you
I
know
know.
there's Facebook?
Yeah, well, guess
we'll
what?
have to work on that. I'd like to talk about some more men in your life.
Yes.
Brian Ferry, for
Yes.
example,
Yes.
who you were going to go on tour with, for example, and then he had to cancel because he got sick.
Yes.
In 2015.
Yes.
How much of a disappointment was that for you back then?
One of the greatest disappointments of my life until I realised that, well, actually, I don't know what, something took a hold of me, some alien took over my body or something, but we were in the Royal Albert Hall, which is kind of the place where all Brits want to play, and it means the world, and it kind of, and my husband had already played it, and my father had sung there many times, and my sister even got her degree there, so I felt like I was the only Owen Shearer who hadn't been there. So I get to do sound check, and literally 10 minutes before going on stage, and people are sitting in their seats. And Brian got very, very, very sick with a flu virus, and he just gradually his voice just got weaker and weaker and weaker. So it was so depressing when my tour manager came up to me and said, "There might be a chance that you're not going to go on tonight." And I just burst into laughter because I thought it was the funniest joke. That's because that's what we do to each other. That's what happened. So I then realised he was being completely serious and that he was almost crying. I thought Waddy Wattel was going to cry, and because he's so emotional and he cares so much, and all the guys were just sort of like. And I said these words, Emily, honest to goodness, if you knew me properly now, you would know how ridiculous this is. I said these words, "Everyone back to my place." I said, "Everyone back to my place." Now, what I meant by everyone back to my place was about the 60 people who'd flown in from Europe and everybody else, all strangers who I knew the people from Europe. I didn't know anybody. Half these people were just like journalists I'd never come across. "Everyone back to mine." And Harry was just like, "Who is this woman? What have they done with my wife?" So because I'm not that kind of a, let's all, I'm not that person. I'm a bit of a hermit. When I'm not being a ham, I'm a hermit. So we all go back, and then we do the show. Basically, we did the show in the house, acoustically, and it was the greatest night. And we were beside ourselves with joy and happiness, and it was amazing. And I think I got probably some of the best reviews I've ever had in my entire life from that one ridiculous event. And sadly, what I didn't realise is that down the road in the hotel were Brian's band, all of whom were literally crying into their beer.
Oh, no.
And I didn't know that they were where they were, and that was the saddest thing, finding out that they all just had the worst night, because that's a horror. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, no one's died, it's not on that level, but it does take the wind out of your sails, because that's a big deal. The Albert Hall is a big deal.
Absolutely. Did you get a chance to play there yet, or is that still something, a dream that has to be fulfilled?
Dear dream maker, wherever you are, my dream is to still play the Royal Albert Hall. Yes, that would be incredible.
Just ask the universe, it'll work.
I'm asking the universe every day now, I think. I'm knocking on the universe's door. It's one of those things where I feel like I almost did, because when you sound check in the Albert Hall, I gotta say, it's almost as if a part of me almost felt like it was okay, because it feels, that building is so remarkable and special. Like, it's nothing like having the audience in there too. But it was it's a pretty remarkable thing. It really, really is.
I still have a feeling it's going to work out with you in the Royal Albert Hall. You've got to make a date with the universe. You can't just say I want to play there someday because it doesn't know when.
No, it doesn't know when.
Well, either September 2019.
Either that, or I'll find out with somebody that I know that's playing, and I'll just run on stage and just grab the mic and be carted off to the police station, which would be a lovely way to do it. Lovely.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not. No,
they're going to sit there and wait for you to get on stage and play for them.
No, I will. It will happen at some point. I hope it would be a lovely thing to do. But I've had my share of wonderful venues that I've played at, so I have nothing to complain about. So, and I feel like I've almost have. So it's okay. I'll be all right.
I'm sure you will. We want to listen to More Than This now. So
yeah, I had to cover this song. It's my favourite Brian Ferry song, and I heard it all the years I was opening for him. I would hear this song and be reminded. I know it's a song about relationships and love and falling in love and romantic love, but for me it's really about knowing that none of us are here for any, none of us know how long we're here for, and the most important thing that we have is the people that we love in our lives around us, and sharing it with them and telling them, because that really, that there's nothing more than this.
You're absolutely right. More Than This. Thank you.
I could see at the time there was no way of knowing, falling leaves in the night. Who can say where they're blowing? I'm as free as the wind, hopefully learning why the sea on the tide has no way of turning. But more than this, well, there's nothing more than this. Tell me one thing more than this, more than this. There's nothing. It was fine for a while. There was no way of knowing, like those dreams in the night. Who can say where we're going? But more than this, well, there's nothing more than this. Tell me one thing more than this, more than this. There's nothing. Oh, no. Oh, oh, oh. more than this.
Also, another beautiful version. Thank you so much. I saw you open a concert or like announce a song you were going to sing, and you said, "This is a love song, not a happy one, because what's the point?" And I thought that was it describes the way you think. I think it does anyway. At least what you've been telling me tonight.
Well, I can't do love songs like. Even with that, I find there is. I think that love is such a complex thing. I mean, we all know the lust and early love that is quite straightforward, and that basically makes us all lose our minds and go crazy. But lasting love and the many levels of love is so complex. It's not, there is a certainty that the person you love, you will definitely hate on regularly, because when people are that close and when people spend that much time together and they share space and they're irritated by each other, because it's only human to feel that way, that's how it's going to be. I argue with my husband like lunatics. I mean, we're just the Bickersons, the two of us. But ultimately, I don't see love as being just so straightforward. And I know that's how it's shown in song, and that's how it's always the dream, that it's this just like, like I said, the early thrill and joys of love. But beyond that, it is so much more complex. It has so many layers. It is literally 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, so that's what the 50 Shades of Grey is about. I think not, it's not, but what I mean? It's just like, it could be about love, just straightforward, not just the kinky, fantastic type. But it's just, so I can't write your straightforward love song. No, there has to be more to it than that.
So how does the Donna Summer song Hot Stuff fit into that then?
Well, here's my example.
Okay.
Here's my story as to what happened when I tried to be an assertive sexual woman. I was in my very early 20s. I mean, I was like 21. And I was being a bit of a cougar because I was dating a 17-year-old. So good. Ooh. So So already I was a wild woman. And you have to understand that I am the most, all I've ever done, I'd love to have the life that Jenny Mitchell had, where she basically was just like voraciously, eating her way, literally, digesting every man in sight, that she's working with. It's fantastic. And then writing brilliant songs. I'd love to be that person. It's not who I am. I'm just, I come at this from a very different place. Those are my experiences. That's not who I am. I'm a yearner and yearned for that and yearned for love, always. But so my one attempt to ever do what I believe Donna Summer, who by the way was a good Christian girl and wasn't the person that when she got to Munich and started doing the Giorgio Moroder stuff and was like the disco sex god. That wasn't who she was at all. And then after she did the whole disco thing, I guess she went back then and carried on being just regular Donna Summer. And she went back to just being a good Christian woman singing in church. I can't believe this story. But anyway, that's what they got her to do. So growing up, being as a kid, hearing this music, it was all sort of like, so yeah, you here, let's do it. So it was incredible to me, amazing. So my one attempt to be that woman, this is why I smile every time I sing this song. So I called up the 17-year-old. Well, he wasn't even my boyfriend. He was just somebody. He was my drummer. Let's just go there. It's sad. So he was my drummer. And just a word of warning to anybody else who ever wants to do this. Make sure the person that you're about to be sexually provocative with, make sure they actually fancy you in the first place or even find you vaguely attractive. Just make sure. That's my word of warning to other women out there and men. Make sure the other person actually likes you. So I
see where this is going.
Yeah, so I called him up. He did like me, but he was also terrified of me. It was also understandable. And that's what it was. So I called him up and I said, you, me, now, here, let's do this, whatever. And all I heard was this, 9 years of silence at the end of the phone. Silence. who's British, obviously. So therefore, I hear this tiny voice. I'm busy tonight. Click. Oh yeah, it's hard. It was harsh. It was cold. So then 2 days later, I have to rehearse with him, and now he can't actually look me in the eyes. He can't. He's like that. He can't have eye contact with me, and then a few days later, he brings in like the youngest girl I've ever seen in my entire life, who's his brand new girlfriend, who doesn't speak either and doesn't look up, and I had to fire him. I had to let him go because that was just important. I just couldn't cope. But that was it. So this song, every time I sing it and I think about that, the whole come on, let's it just makes me laugh because I think about myself. And also in this song, I suppose, it's much more full of yearning and that need that we all have to find a companion, to find our partner, to find love. It's lonely out there. It's lonely even when you're with someone, God. So that's where it's really coming from. And to bring the heat, because when I want to write music that I think is sexy or has heat to it and is sultry, I go to Brazil, I go to Jobim, I go to Bossa Nova. That's where I go, and that's why this song went where it went.
Do you know whatever happened to the drummer? Have you heard? Did you talk to him? 10, 15 years later.
He's a hugely successful person. I can't say his name, of course, because no, I can't.
We want to know, but I know I'm not going to. You're not going to tell me anyway.
He's hugely successful. He's quite well known, so absolutely no.
Oh, that makes the story even better, though.
I know, but I just love the idea. I just love the. The funniest thing was I was telling this story to a French journalist. This is so good. And the French journalist, this is the difference between an Englishman and a Frenchman. This is all I can say. And the Englishman was like, what? Quoi? I cannot believe, he said. I cannot believe he would do this to you. If you'd said this to me, I would come, I would take care of you, I'd do it all because that is what a man does. All right, and it was just like, that's the difference.
Absolutely.
Between an Englishman, oh, sorry, busy tonight, click. And I will be there in 10 minutes, I will service you until you are crying. That's the difference.
But that's what you learn, the older you get, the more you learn you should stick with the French guys.
And listen, this is why I'm so upset about Brexit. This is really
go there.
why.
Before you start, I'd like you at home, after you've watched this, make sure you check the video to Hot Stuff because it's amazing. It's very funny.
Yes.
And it shows even more how your humor works, and it's really amazing.
Well, thank you so
Hot
much.
Stuff, this Hot Stuff is going to sing Hot Stuff now.
Sitting here, eating my heart out, waiting for some lover to call. I dialed about 1,000 numbers lately, almost ran the phone off the wall. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Gonna find some hot stuff. Oh, I need some hot stuff tonight. Oh, 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 oh. I'm looking for I'm looking for a lover who needs another. Don't want another night on my own. Gonna go home with a warm-blooded lover. Wanna bring a wild man back home. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Gonna find some hot stuff. Oh, I need some hot stuff tonight. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm looking for oh no, oh no. I'm sitting here eating my heart out, waiting for some lover to call. Dial about 1,000 numbers lately, almost ran the phone off the wall. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Gonna find some hot stuff. Oh, I need some hot stuff tonight. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm looking for. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm looking for. Woo, woo, woo. Whoa, 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 oh, 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 no, oh, 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 no.
I'm never going to be able to hear that song the same way I have before. It's always going to be with that story and with the drummer who I'm going to find out who he is. I'm going to tell you some. No, I won't. I won't.
No.
Tell me about Hotline Bling.
Wow. Hotline Bling. I said to my husband, who the aforementioned Harry, who really has a voracious musical appetite and is so knowledgeable about everything. I had got the whole collection of this new record, Rediscovered, because we're into Rediscovered now. These are all the songs from that we're going to finish up with, and I pretty much got everything. It started out as being like a compilation of all the things I'd already done over the years, and then I thought, it's boring, it's lazy, and I'm tired with doing those things. Let's find new things to do. So I only brought back two songs because they're fan favourites, which is Smoke on the Water and Black Hole Sun, which we'll get to. But the rest of them were all fresh and new, and they're still songs that mean so much in my life, and that I like get under their skin, or that rather they are my skin now. And I had got to the point where I knew I wanted to do contemporary songs, so I'd done Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling as a kind of gospel ballad, Ed Sheeran's Shape of You as a kind of Ray Letts, Ray Charles kind of vibe to it. And then I knew I wanted one more, because to me it's not about just always looking back. It's about being present as well, and that means using the music of present day to immerse yourself in too. And I said to Harry, what do you think would be the most unexpected and shocking cover that I could do that nobody would believe that I would do? You know, they're so opposite to me as an artist. And he said, well, he wouldn't even spend a nanosecond thinking about it. He just said, Drake, Hotline Bling. He said, ran off, got his computer, came back, played it to me. And I knew exactly what he meant. The minute I heard it, it's like, all right. It's just that it's just that thing going over and over and over and over and over. I get it.
But it's not about him. It's about an old boyfriend.
No. That's exactly it. And so that's what I heard immediately was minor key, Eric Satie, Gymnopédies, cinematic, way off in the distance, something really. And what I do with these songs, just to give you an idea, and I think this is a good one to describe how I go through this process. I read the lyrics, I read them and I read them and I read them, and I find my truth in them, and I find and by the way, we all do this. The minute you put headphones on, the minute you listen to songs that are important to us all, the soundtracks of our lives, they all have a different meaning for an individual. They mean something that happened to that person that is personal to that person. It's different for everyone. I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm just taking it to a much more extreme level. So I'm literally reinventing these songs so that I'm wearing them like my skin. And with this, the first two verses absolutely were about one-sided love. And it reminded me of the first person that I was ever truly in love with, who I actually thought I would end up with my whole... Thank God I didn't, by the way, because I wouldn't be with the right person, and I would be divorced very soon after, and it would have been a miserable affair. Because he didn't understand the whole being a musician thing at all, so that would have been a nightmare. So, but it was really about how much I was so crazy about him. I was so in love with this guy. I refused to admit and see that he really wasn't that into me. didn't feel the same way. I mean, who hasn't felt that? And I would wait, and I would wait for the phone call, and I'd wait for the phone call, and I'd wait for the phone call that would come weeks after the last time I saw him, because I was pretty much last on the list, probably way down. He would even bring other women to my shows.
Ooh.
Yeah, just to make sure I was, just to hold me right back. And I would put up with it because I was so, lacking in confidence and self-esteem, as all young people are usually, and had very low self-esteem. So it was, I just took it all, and that's what you do. But that feeling you get when we're literally holding a torch for someone, and you ask mutual friends if they've seen them, where they are, or have you seen anyone? Try to make it really casual, and that's all you do. All you do all day is think about that person and wait for the phone to ring.
Yeah, and I don't know, the children watching don't know that back then, when I was young as well, you couldn't take their phone with you, so you had to sit at home all day long and wait for it to ring, and you didn't, when someone called and it wasn't that person, you hung up really fast because they couldn't call. It was
That's
horrible,
right.
yeah.
That's right. And if you didn't have to leave, of course, the answer machine would be on constantly. But I mean, now it would be the same thing with your cell phone.
Yeah,
you would be staring at it all day, and you would be waiting for that number and you wouldn't want to have a conversation. You wouldn't want somebody to be wasting your time because you're waiting for that number. And that is still about, that's that thing that we all really, really do know, which is the one-sided love affair.
I know that some of the other musicians that you covered have said they love what you do. Do you know what Drake thinks about this song?
Well, we're getting into Drake, we're getting into Justin Timberlake and to Ed Sheeran as well. I do know that it would be, to me, the most important thing, apart from obviously the audience and the listeners' reaction to these songs, but hearing that the writers and the artists love this song. Like I recently found out that the guys that wrote Hot Stuff are huge fans and love it, just as Ian Gillan and Ian Glover are of Deep Purple, as Chris Cornell was for Black Hole Sun. Many of these artists have really been so wonderful and shown me so much love and approval, and that really is kind of like, that's the sort of vindication and the blessing that I want, because I admire these people and I love these and respect these songs so much.
And you did a wonderful job changing them and making them yours.
Well, thank you.
This is a Drake in your version.
He used to call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. 'Cause I know when that hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself, and now everybody knows it and I'm left out. Well, you got me down, you've got me stressed out. 'Cause ever since I left the city, you started going out more. Champagne on the dance floor, hanging with those girls I've never seen before. You used to call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. 'Cause I know when that hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you and me, well, we just don't get along. You made me feel like I did you wrong, going places where you don't belong. Well, ever since I left the city, you got exactly what you asked for. Running out of pages in your passport, hanging with those girls I've never seen before. So call me on my cell phone. Call me on my cell phone. Call me on my cell phone. Call me on my cell phone when you need my love.
Yeah, he should have called.
I should have.
But then the song wouldn't have been this good. So it has the things always come back to you, and they work out for the right way anyway.
It's just the interesting thing about doing these songs is like I can't say being calling this record Rediscovered is that it also had this very strange effect upon me. It allowed me to remember memories that I had literally put away, that I had just put to the back of my consciousness, because they're too painful, and not only that, it's the past. My life is so different now, so it's so extraordinarily opposite to all of these things, and my life took an amazing turn when I finally got to America and finally got to be with my husband, and my career then just grew and grew and took off, and my life and my health and everything else with it came along as well. But it was very interesting looking back on these stories and these experiences, because it's absolutely what makes you who you are, and it's absolutely what makes you what makes me sing the way I do and be the kind of artist I am.
It's something you're very open about, that you struggle with depression, or you used to anyway. I'm not sure if it's something that you like to talk about now still, or is it a topic that you talk about to make people aware of the problem? Or
I will never stop talking about depression, because as more and more people, famous people, succumb to the disease, and I say succumb, I mean by that, by suicide, but for all the famous people that it happens to, just imagine how many normal and regular people are going through this all the time with nobody making a fuss, and how many people's lives are affected by this. I know, because this is what happened to my mother. I know, because this was my life, and I have the same genetic makeup as her, and I will always have to manage this illness, this disease, because it's it's a clinical thing that I have, and it became my life's work to be well, because I having seen this firsthand, and having experienced that as a child with my mother, and seeing what happened, and what the effect it had upon my family and my dad and my sister and I, which was it was pretty life ending for all of us. That, and the guilt and the shame and everything else that goes with it. I know that one of the most important things to do to lessen the stigma about this illness is to actually talk, and to not hide and be secretive, because it's a very secretive, lonely disease, because the shame makes you just not want to ever have anyone see who you really are. So the minute you talk to someone else who knows what you're talking about, who's experienced too, and by the way, the minute you open up, you'll be amazed how many, it's amazing how many people come out of the woodwork and go, oh, me too. Literally talk about me too. That's saying, can be related to a lot of things in life, but it's about opening up and telling the truth. I mean, that's what Me Too means, I think, in every area of this world. And so the statistics of depression and of suicide are ever growing in this world that we've built for ourselves, where the pressures and the anxieties and the losses and the financial strains and the worry just gets bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. And so I feel that it's my, not just my, it's kind of a duty, but I want to, after years of silence and of hiding, I cannot not speak about this anymore, and I can't hide about it. So I've always been very, very clear in my music and my songs, but I'm now also very clear in the way that I talk about it. I mean, I've done a stage show with another woman, with a fellow performer that went to the West End about this very thing as well. I mean, it's sort of like I can't say enough. I can't say enough about it. But the sad thing about suicide is that it comes from a moment of crisis. And yes, there's people are preparing for it and planning for it, but ultimately it happens in a moment of crisis. And in majority of the cases of people who are saved or discovered or found, they are very, very glad that it didn't happen and go through. And so you just have to remember how bad, how ill a person has to be, how bad the state a person has to be in to want to stop the most important thing for any of us, which is life. And I've said it myself, and I will say it to anybody that doesn't understand this. It's not that you want to die, you see. Nobody wants to die. It's that you want the pain to stop. And sometimes that feels like the only way you can stop it in those split minute of crisis. But nobody wants to do that.
And I think that's a lot of people do not understand. They think just snap out of it, and that
Oh my
does
God.
not work. But I think that's what a lot of people think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they just think, it can't be that bad. How bad can it be? Just go outside and take a deep breath.
My husband used to say that to me when I was first. Poor guy, he was amazing. I mean, I'm so fortunate to be with somebody who didn't run for the hills when he realised how depressed I was. And I'd, of course, lied to him and told him that I was a very healthy person because my fear was that he would run for the hills. But ultimately, he, like most people who've never experienced, they say things because they want to help. So, like, going for a walk, the sun's shining, you'll feel better. It's, go out, get some exercise. But nothing. Perk up is a good one. Pull yourself together, perk up. Nothing helps, when you're in it. Nothing does. It's very hard for the people who are in the family members around people who are suffering. It's very hard. It's unrelentingly, unforgivingly, unrewardingly cruel for everyone. That's why it's important for people who have it to connect with and talk to other people who have had it or have it, because no one understands otherwise.
Unfortunately, Chris Cornell didn't talk enough.
Again, it's that crisis.
Yeah.
It's that moment of crisis, and it's heartbreaking. I remember the first time I heard Black Hole Sun, and I knew instantly, I knew exactly who he was, because I knew he was speaking my language. But I thought this is one of the greatest songs that's ever been written about darkness, internal darkness. And then I saw the video, and that it's absolutely astounding. And yeah, it is true. It's one of the greatest sadnesses of someone like that. It's such a talented and wonderful man, but then it is a great sorrow and sadness for any human being that ever ends life this way.
And your rendition of Black Hole Sun is absolutely amazing. So lean back and enjoy, even though it's very sad. But please enjoy still.
In my mind, indisposed, in disguise, as no one knows, hides the face and lies a snake. The sun in my disgrace, boiling heat, summer sweat neath the sky. The earth looks red, called my name, and through the cream I hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Oh, won't you come? Stuttering, cold and damp, feel the warm wind tired friend. Times are gone for honest men, and sometimes far too long for snakes. In my youth, boiling heat. In my youth, pray to keep heaven send a hell away, 'cause no one sings like you no more. No, black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Oh, won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Won't you please? Na 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 do.
Such a powerful version.
Thank you. Thank you. It's, I took it to Dave Brubeck World because I thought, well, because so much of this record, and so much of me is kind of jazz influenced, like I said, my beginnings are very much, you can hear that, and I just love so much jazz and jazz piano. It's such an incredible thing. So I took it into that Take 5 place because it's like my version is like the face that I would wear to make sure that nobody ever saw what was going on inside. So I would wear this kind of bright, joyful, it's who I am now. Before I was having to work. I mean, I always was, but, when you're in the depression, because it goes in, waves, and sometimes I came out and then I'd go back in. But so when I was in it, I still had to be on. And so I thought, in a way, this dissonance and the contrast between the music and the lyrics felt like my experience of the illness, a lot of it.
Yeah, as I said, it's very, very powerful.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
When I listened to Cherokee Louise, the first thing I thought, and I don't know if you like being compared to other artists, but the first person I heard singing was Shirley Horn.
Oh my God, you just paid me one of the biggest compliments in the world.
I'm so glad that I thought, I don't know if you might know the Here's to Life album.
Yeah,
and,
I do.
That's what the first I thought, oh wow. And then I listened to the lyrics because I didn't know Cherokee Louise before, and I thought, that's harsh. There's a lot going on in that song. Why did you choose that song?
Well, I mean, it's the Joni Mitchell songs on this record, and particularly because there's two of them, because I'm so smitten with her. But Cherokee Louise was the first song I ever heard of Joni's, and I came to her late. I didn't hear any of the early stuff. That wasn't what actually was interesting. That wasn't what my family were listening to, but also. It just wasn't that period. But I got to her in like mid to late 80s, and the first thing I heard was Night Ride Home. And that's the Larry Klein produced, as they were married at that time as well. And what's incredible about Life, of course, is he was the first bass player I play with and work with and record with when I go to America Larry Klein. Believe me, it's always those things that actually make me feel like life is astounding and incredible, really. But the thing about hearing Cherokee Louise and why Joni had such a huge effect upon me is because her fearlessness in not only mixing, as I like to do, many different music styles, as she did, it was jazz and folk and some rock and anything else in that she wanted to put in there. As she didn't see any reason why not, and I don't either. It's as you said, it's my vocabulary. This is exactly it. So, what I felt when I heard this was that this was such a powerful woman, and she was such a role model to me because she was talking about things that were not. I mean, this is one of the heaviest songs. Yeah. When you read these lyrics, it's about a young girl she grew up with in Canada, a Cherokee girl who was being abused by her foster father. And they'd be hiding in under the bridge in the tunnels, and the police would be out looking for them. And it's the lyrics, the words it's poetry. It's poetry. And that's what I found extraordinary about Joni throughout her career is the beauty, the absolute accessibility and beauty of her music, matched by the most profound lyrics and poetry of just from heaven. I mean, it's just extraordinary who this woman is, and has been to the influence she's had on so many musicians. And it's why I believe that she should be the patron saint of female singer-songwriters. And I'm writing to the Pope about this. But she's extraordinary and an American treasure. But she's a true role model, I feel, because she's fearless. She's fearless, and opened the door, I think, for people like me, so that you could be that confessional, and yet you could wrap it up in a beautiful melody. So my version of Cherokee Louise, of course, I couldn't. Again, I'm not going to copy the original. It's amazing. It's astounding. But whereas hers, the original is more a kind of almost like a childlike lilt, and she did those opposites. She did that thing like I just did with Black Hole Sun, and it had a kind of dum da di di ba ba do di ba di di ba. It was the whole rhythm of it, lovely swing to it. So it kind of, you don't realize how shocking the lyrics are, as you know, when you first hear them. What I did, because I wanted to shine the light on these words, so I took it absolutely. To me, it became cinematic. It became absolutely cinematic, and it sounds like the words. Like it is onomatopoeic. It's basically, there's a movie going in your head. There is this amazing trumpeter, Nick Payton, who's like the soul of the child. I believe that it. And from the start, to say that Shirley Horn makes me beyond happy, because I remember seeing Shirley Horn in the Cine Grill in LA, and it was for that. It's the life, isn't it?
I love that.
I almost died of happiness, and she was singing songs from that. I almost died of happiness. And she was wearing her gloves, when she was playing the piano. One of the most extraordinary talents. I still haven't got over that, seeing her, and so yeah. Thank you so much. I do think that this song is the heart of the record, and I do think it's the greatest recording. And I do think my voice sounds like it's in another world. I don't know. I hear it too. The minute I hear the opening line, I can't believe it's something remarkable happened in the studio. So again, thank you, Dave Bianca.
Well, I mean, for me, maybe it's like when you got to see Shirley Horn. For me, sitting next to me and be able to talk to you tonight is amazing. And I love to hear you play. And we're going to listen to this amazing song from Joni Mitchell now from you. Thank you.
Cherokee Louise is hiding in this tunnel in the Broadway bridge. We're crawling on our knees, we've got flashlights and batteries, we've got cold cuts from the fridge. Last year, around this time, we used to climb up in the branches and just sway there in some breeze. Now the cops are on the street, they want my Cherokee Louise. Cherokee Louise. People like to talk, tongues are wagging over fences, wagging over phones. All the doors are locked. God, she can't even come to our house, but I know where she'll go. To the place where you can stand and stretch your hands like it was bubble bath in dust, piled high as me. Down under the street, my friend, Cherokee Louise. Cherokee Louise. Ever since we turned 13, it's like a minefield walking through the door. Going out, you get the third degree. Coming in, you get the third world war. Tuesday afternoon, we put our pennies on the rails, and when the train rolled by, we're jumping round like fools, going, look, no heads, no tails, going, look, my lucky prize. Then she runs home to her foster dad. He opens up his zipper and he asks her to her knees, oh, please be here, please, my friend, Cherokee Louise. Cherokee Louise. Cherokee Louise. Please, Cherokee Louise, please come home.
Yes. I was just thinking a year ago I was in walking around in Cologne and I had some time to kill, and so I sat by the Dom, by the big cathedral, and I put on Joni Mitchell on my earphones, and I turned out so loud that I couldn't hear anybody walking. I just heard the music and looked at the cathedral and the people walking by.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the most amazing feeling. Do you remember an album that when the last time you heard an album like that, you really heard every single word? And
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
yeah?
And that's exactly it. It's just that thing of like, I should remember my microphone. It's that thing of, so much music. It's sort of like lyrics doesn't matter. They don't matter. They don't. It doesn't even matter. But there's a reason why, the music from the Great American Songbook keep coming back, and they use it in The Voice, and America's Got Talent, and Germany's Got whatever, whatever show it might be. There is a reason why songs that match melody and lyrics are timeless and are absolutely universal and will stand the test of time. Because this is such an art. It's such a great art, and I do believe that she's just like she rules. Honestly, she's amazing. But maybe we'll see. But maybe she'll hear that, and it would, of course, that would mean the world to me, knowing that she was thrilled with it. I know that Larry Klein heard it a couple of weeks ago, in my house. I was doing just doing exactly what I'm doing now with Leland Sklar and Pedro Segundo, and we're doing a little listening of the new record live, and he came and. He admitted that Leland was his idol, bass idol, which is astounding in itself, but was absolutely completely in love with these versions of the Journey songs. So that means an extraordinary, huge amount to me.
I can imagine. When you were little, you used to watch old movies with Fred Astaire and Doris Day and all those kind of things.
I do still. I watch at least one film a day, and I'm a Turner Classic Movies lunatic. And if it's black and white, I'm watching it.
Watching them back then and watching them now, how has your eye changed of how you see them?
It hasn't really. It's what's so interesting. The films, because we were very sort of like musicals were big in my house as well, and all those black and white films and classic films, and it's funny because I was just thinking about Hotline Bling because I was about to say Hitchcock, and the video that's out now for that is like I'd say go and see that, see that please, viewers, because it's like a little piece of Hitchcock. It's terrifying, but they feel like old friends to me. They really, really do, and they make me feel like I'm surrounded, like, or rather, I'm with friends. We're like, oh yeah, look, there's. I mean, it's ridiculous. My husband, again, Harry can't understand what's the matter with me. He walks in and I'm watching the same film that I've watched like 4 days earlier. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter that I can literally, I know the entire script at this point. I just find them comforting and wonderful. And
well done, anyway.
Oh my gosh,
well
miraculous
done.
works of art. Yeah, I mean, it's just again, it's a quality thing. But I like. Somebody said to me the other day, do you listen to music all the time? I said, absolutely no. I listen to a lot of spoken word, and maybe that's it too. I like to hear voices. I like to hear spoken word. British thing of us. We always listen to like plays, and it's Radio 4's on all the time, and it's like the spoken word is as important, I believe, for me. As is music. I do listen to a lot of music. I live in New Orleans. I go and see a lot of music all the time, and I'm inspired by many, many musicians. But I have also a very healthy respect towards not oversaturating myself. I'm bizarre this way. I don't really rehearse hugely. Mm-hmm. I like to have a little bit of a seat of the pants feeling. So that I'm as much, I like relaxing when I know stuff really well. It's really great to be able to relax into it. But there also is a spontaneity and a freshness that you need to keep at all times. And I think if you do stuff too much, it becomes autopilot.
That cannot happen when you're doing artsy things.
No, you can't. And I can't do that in the studio. It has to be, first couple of takes and one take, and that's really what it has to be. And it's sort of. It works. I think it works well that way. But what do they mean? Do films mean something different to me now than they did? No, they are really sacred to me. That's what they mean.
I'm going to tell you a secret now, and you might not even like me after this, but I never liked "Smoke on the Water," that song, because I always heard it this way. Smoke on the water, da, 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 da. And then I heard your version of it, and I thought, oh, that's what they're singing about. Okay, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's okay. So you can't imagine how many people have said to me, the next 2 songs actually are the ones that people have said, I really didn't like that song. I didn't like it, and now I do. And I think when I was a kid, my big sister, she was like 16, and she had a rock boyfriend. She had like a greasy, bikey rock. It was very, very dangerous, and he introduced us to rock, which I flipping love. I love it. I don't do it right. I mean, I kind of do, but you know, in my own way. I don't rock piano, but you know. But Smoke on the Water he played to us, and I just thought that's incredible because I love Hammond organ. And so John Lord and Hammond, that was, to me, was just like, this is incredible. I'm not, guitars, you know, I'm not, that's not what my ear is drawn to. It's always piano, it's Hammond, it's keyboards. But what a great anthem. And at the time I remember thinking, what are they talking about? That is what I thought. It was like, what? So cut to me deciding that I'm going to do my first recording of a cover in this way, of, you know, this crazy Judith Owen way. And I just thought, my sense of humour, I just thought, wouldn't it be fantastically funny to take the world's most testosterone male anthem, rock anthem, and turn it into a female, sexy kind of come hither song. And then I thought, okay, now I understand what it's about. I realised what, you know, so I decided that I would treat it as if it was like a folklore, you know, like the legend. So it's very serious, and it's kind of, there's a lot of importance to it. It's like, you know, it's a major event that happened in world history. So that's how I treated it, and I know. So it just makes me even happier knowing that that them, you know, Deep Purple as a band loved this version so much. I mean, they have a sense of humour, but they also knew it was done well. And again, taking the heat, you know, the fire that happened in Montreux, you know, it's that bit of bossa comes back in, that little bit of heat comes back in.
Yeah, the heat is on.
It's on.
Yeah, it is absolutely. I hope they're not watching the Deep Purple people, because I didn't mean to say anything bad about your song.
No,
Never mind.
no.
It's okay,
It's. I know the bit of which I know exactly, because I know what you mean. I know you mean musically by that. I get it. Absolutely. But my God, what a song
it is.
Yeah.
They all came down to Montreux on the Lake Geneva shoreline to make records with a mobile, and they didn't have that much time. And Frank Zappa and the Mothers were at the best place around. But some stupid fool with a flare gun went and burned the place right to the ground. And all I saw was smoke on the water, a fire in the sky. I saw smoke on the water. I saw burned down the gambling house, and it died with a terrible sound. Claude was running in and out, pulling kids straight out of the ground. When it was all over, they had to find another place, but a Swiss time, it was running out. They thought that they would lose the race, and all I saw was smoke on the water, fire in the sky. I saw smoke on the water. I saw fire in the sky. I saw smoke on the water, a fire, fire in the sky, smoke on the water, a fire in the sky. You know that I saw smoke on the water. I saw I saw I saw
Yeah, that was sexy.
You can both do that. That.
They don't take me
immediately.
seriously when that kind of
No,
stuff. Oh, wow.
I know. I can do that then.
Yes. When you go out and buy the album Rediscovered, which you definitely should do, and the songs we've been hearing, the last couple of songs are all from the album, and the next song coming up as well, you'll see that the album cover is really very cool. The photo on the front of it was taken by Bernhard Kunstedt.
That's
Is that how you
right.
say it? Yeah. It's really a really cool. Cool is probably the wrong word to say, but it's a really cool picture.
Well,
how did that come about?
Basically, it's. I wish we had one roundabout. Has anybody got one anywhere that I can show it? Because it really is a particular thing. He's basically Bernhard is like Bernhard is the German Annie Leibovitz. It's truly, and he's Mr. Rock and Roll photographer. But I think the thing that he captured in me is that I'm quite animated at the piano. Normally I'm even more animated. It's just I'm trying to do an angle that works here. But there's always hair flying. My hair is usually like wrapped across my face like this. And literally that is what he got with me at the piano, because it really is who I am. Oh, I hear it being unpacked as we speak. Look, here it comes, and here it comes.
Thank you so much. There we are.
So there you go. Now that. Lovely people, was my idea. When I realized I was going to do this album, I knew this was the cover, and we'd only just done it 8 months or so beforehand, just trying out the photo shoot together when I was in München. And as you can see, as it goes through the record, you see more of my face and more of my face, and then you see the absolutely heavenly how it feels when I sing, and the inside you actually get to see me completely. But the idea of it was, I'm underneath. I am wrapped up, completely covered by these covers. I am in them, and I think that was absolutely the point of it. And I knew, boy, if I knew the minute I saw that photo, if I do a covers record, that'll be it. And of course I did, and that was it, and that's the right thing to do. So. It's a sort of, it's like peeling away the onions. You see a bit more of me, but I think it's as artful a cover as I think the entire idea is. I mean, I hope that's what the marriage is that it's much easier to just do a beauty shot in the front and just look fantastic and just do that a lot and just do that. But it doesn't really, it doesn't express anything about how interesting it might be. I think this looks interesting and makes you want to sort of go, oh,
yeah, what is that? Yes.
No, don't I see her face? Does she look hideous? Does she have scarring? What, 3 noses? So I think that's actually, I'm thrilled that this is how it's come about. But yeah.
Do you still think that you have secrets? Do you think you're capable of having secrets even though you're so open with your music?
Yes. Yes, I do. Not many, I have to say, because I find it impossible to lie. Like I said, I lied for so long about who I was, literally. And I mean, I've always been a person that's full of life, like I said, full of life and joy and brightness, and also at the same time, and that's how it is. A person with great darkness, but. Those years are over. The secrets and the lying have stopped. But there are things. There are things in my in my heart and in me that are in my music, but maybe you wouldn't know what they were, or you don't know what I'm alluding to. But I think I'm a very, very honest person musically. I mean, I think I do expose a great percentage of myself and who I am and all my, darkest secrets and my flaws and my damage. And I do it because I believe we are all beautifully flawed and damaged, and I do it because I was fed up. I was fed up of being alone and lonely, and I think we all do. I think we all feel that way. So it's a sort of it is very much, the experience for me is very much about the sharing, the shared experience, and connecting and communicating. I think that ultimately is. But I think that's the most primal thing that we have, as human beings. We've been sitting around campfires for the longest time, since the beginning of time, as human beings, sharing noises and sounds and music and stories. And I think that's ultimately, that's really it.
The only two people that are not flawed are Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta in Grease, obviously, because they're just completely in love and they, look great and they have lots of fun. And we were talking about Summer Nights before. It was one of the songs I grew up with, singing it with my sister, together. We both played the parts. We know the movie by heart.
Who did you play?
Olivia, of course.
Of course. Well,
of course.
And your sister was John Travolta?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's younger. She had to do it.
She had to. That's the youngest.
No
yeah,
choice.
I know. I know that I'd had that one with my sister. I was always like the really rubbish.
Yeah.
I was always the rubbish character. But the nice thing again about this is that this version is winging its way as we speak to Olivia Newton-John to see what she thinks of it. I think she'll probably like it. But again, I had this boyfriend who it's really madly in love. Came back from being away on a work trip, and he said, "I screwed up. I had an affair. It was meaningless. It didn't mean it." They always say that, by the way. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And can you forgive me? And please forgive me. No. And of course, I was heartbroken and devastated, but I tried. I mean, I pretended that I said I can, I'll try and forgive you. But the truth is, you can forgive, but you can't necessarily forget. And the thoughts that were just ever present in my mind was of him and her together. Where had they been? How was it? Did he prefer her? Was he still thinking of her? Or did he regret? That stuff that eats away into your psyche. So it was the end of the relationship, again, just as well. But ultimately, I think that's, again, is that thing of like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. But in fact, you want to know everything. You just want every piece of information. This could be a woman's thing again, perhaps. But so I decided that with Summer Nights, when I read the lyrics, the more I read them, the more I realized that they would be really brilliant if they were in the third person. And if I told this story, as I did to my best friend, and told her this, what had happened, and the tell me more is both her, and it's me wanting, at the end of it, wanting to know constantly, it was just that thing of like, it's an obsession. It became an obsession, and the end of that relationship. But I like I said earlier, it's a song that starts with people smiling, acknowledging, realizing what it is, finding it very funny, getting the joke, and then suddenly they become really serious. And then I've even had women that have come up to me who've been quite teary, because, because they relate and they know exactly what I'm talking about.
So tell me more, okay?
I'll tell you more right now.
Summer loving, you had a blast. Summer loving, it happened so fast. You said, I met a girl who's crazy for me. Those summer dreams ripped at the seams. Whoa, oh, but those summer nights. She swam by you well, she got a cramp, and you ran over and you got your suit and down. You saved her life 'cause she nearly drowned. Oh, those summer flings, they don't mean a thing. Oh, oh, but those summer nights. Tell me more, was it love at first sight? Tell me more, did she put up a fight? Oh, it turned colder, that's how it ends. I bet you told her you'd still be a friend. Do you wonder what she's doing now? Those summer dreams ripped at the seams. Oh, oh, but those summer why don't you tell me? Oh, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me more?
Judith, it's been such a pleasure having you here today. I'm so honored. We all are honored to listen to your music and to be able to find out more about you and know what's going on in your soul and your heart. I do have one last request, and I wonder if you would mind playing it for me, because it's one of my it is my all-time Beatles song, Blackbird, and your rendition of it is so amazing on your album Rediscovered. Oh, thank you so much.
And I would also say that you've been a wonderful interviewer and host, and it's been a really relaxing and extraordinarily enjoyable 5 hours we've been at this now. I don't know what it is, but it has been an absolute joy and pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and letting us join in with your music. You can go online and find out more about Judith on her website, judithowen.net, and Facebook and Instagram, obviously. I will come back in afterwards when you're done with Blackbird to say thank you again, but don't forget her new album, Rediscovered. And see you in Germany later this year, I would say. Yes, absolutely. Some live shows. Absolutely. I might come back crying, because I just love it so much, but so thank you so much for doing that for me. Thank you.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to rise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to be free. And blackbird, fly. And blackbird, fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken eyes and learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to be free. Yes, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
It's so amazing how you keep the simplicity of the song and still make it your own. So it's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
So much. I think it's one of the most perfect songs ever written, quite frankly. And it's... I think I keep forgetting it. It's one of the most perfect songs ever written. And I think for me, and I'm glad you wanted to hear that song, it speaks about... it's a civil rights song, and it's about freedom and equality. But for me, it's about finding freedom when you've come out from underneath anything in life, including illness, or as I have in, with my brain and chemistry. And it is about being seen and and being free of this thing. So it's remarkable to me, and this song does mean so much. Every time I sing it, I'm filled with joy. I find it elating because of all of that meaning. And on the record, that actually is the blackbird from my back garden in London that's singing at the very end of it that you hear. And I swear, when I hear, it was earlier, there was a blackbird singing outside earlier, and I just think it's one of those things where I feel very grateful to be alive and very glad that I'm here.
And so is everyone at home now, because we had a joyous evening and we're very grateful to have you on the show. So thank you so much for being on MUXX.
Absolute pleasure, Emily. Thank you.
This was Sofa Recordings, not on the sofa tonight, but we're glad we
On the
did it here.
stools.
On the stools, on the very comfy chairs. Make sure you check out Rediscovered, and yeah, thank you for everything, and see you this year in Germany and in Europe and all over the world, because we're seen all over the world, by the way. So
fantastic.
Yeah, so thank you, Judith, for being here, and you, everyone at home, have a lovely day, a lovely evening, wherever you're watching, what time it is, and yeah, see you next time, hopefully. So thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight.